This portion of the workbook is going to go over the job costing aspect. First thing we need to do is we need to fill out our grouting information, and unlike the first video, we're going to do it from the data entry sheet, which we changed to down at the bottom. And the idea of filling this sheet out is very simple. All you do is follow the red color. So first it's saying add the borehole diameter, add the casing, 4-inch casing. We're going to do 2 stages, 200 foot on each stage. The first stage we're going to use neat cement. The second stage will be 200 feet, and we're going to use 12% bentonite. We're going to leave 3 foot of cement in the bottom of the casing after displacement, and our grouting method is going to be pressure with inside trimming. We do want to include our suction and discharge hoses with our displacement values. We're going to add 5 gallons for the cementer's pump housing. Our tubing is going to be 2-inch ID, and we're going to use 380 feet. Our suction discharge hoses are going to total 50 foot in length, and they're going to be 2-inch ID. Our casing is going to be 4-inch Schedule 40. Our displacement fluid weight is going to be water, or 8.34 pounds per gallon, and our drilling mud weight was 9.5 pounds per gallon. Our factor of safety rating is at 2.1, so we're safe there. Okay, now we're going to move on to the job costing steps. Step 1 is add the unit prices. Now, the best way for this to work for a water well contractor is for you to put in the number of items that you think you're going to use, the exact prices that you're going to be charged to purchase these items, along with all your additional costs, labor and rig depreciation, fuel, all those added costs, and then add a markup to it, and your markup would basically be your percent of profit. So what this is all these values here have been updated onto this first sheet from filling the workbook out. So you're seeing here we have a total of 62 bags of cement, 40.5 for the first stage, 21.5 for the second stage. And what I've done is already added a couple prices down here for the 2 items that we'll be using, which is the bentonite for the 12% bentonite and the cement per bag cost. Now, you can add your own costs in here. When the workbook is reset, these costs will remain in here, but you can go back in and change them anytime you want. So, the cost for the 62 bags of cement at $11 a bag, plus 0.8 of a 100-pound bag at $11 a bag, comes out to $691.80. So, what we're going to do is up here at the top, we're going to add a 50% markup. Say we want a 50% profit margin. Okay? Now, this printout button will print this sheet out for you if you click on it and you're hooked up to a printer. This would be handy for the driller to take out because it's got the number of bags for each stage and the displacement values. He could actually use this to take out in the yard and know how much material he needs to put on the trucks. But maybe you don't want him to see your prices. What you can do is check the box up here to hide the prices, and now the prices are hidden, so when you print it out, your prices won't be shown. Now, you may say, but wait a minute, these bags that the computer come up with, that's theoretical. I know I'm going to be using more than that. Or maybe you're filling this out after the job has been completed, and you know that you used 45 bags for the first stage and 25 bags for the second stage. We can go back to the data entry sheet, and down here at the bottom, there's these spinners right next to each stage. Now, the dark green area here, when I click on the spinner to the right of it, I can add bags to that. So I'll put 45 for that one and 25 for the 12% bentonite. Now when I go back to ground and bid sheet, you see those values are now put in here, and we have a total of 70 bags. And our prices now are at $780.86 before the markup, and a little over $1,000 after the markup. Okay, so with that done, we'll close this and we'll do the second, where we add additional costs. And I've listed some here. I'm sure you'll have more. But there again, when you reset the workbook, these values will stay on here. So if you have another job in a similar location, all you need to do is you could have your master copy with this stuff, with these items of expense already filled out on them. And then when you bring up that workbook and do a file save as on it and name it your job number, or name it by the name of the person you're drilling the well for, you'll already have these items on there. Now, the only thing I have left to do here, I've got labor at 8 hours, $45 an hour. I'm just, guessing that might be about what a driller and a helper might be paid. So that would be per hour. And as you can see, the computer does the multiplication for you. Rig depreciation 1, that could be per job. So that's $150 total. Fuel, 50 gallons, gives you $142.50. The casing at $210 a foot, 400 feet per foot, gives you your casing total. Drilling mud, $11 a bag, so that's per bag, gives you that total. And as you can see down here at the bottom, all these are being added up too. 4x8 shell packer, one of them, so that would be per job too. Okay, so we're at $1,555.50 for our expense totals. Once again, we're going to mark it up with a 50%. That takes it up to $2333.25. The grouting totals, the $1,171, that's been brought over from the sheet I showed you previously. And then the two are added together here for a grand total. Now, both of those sheets could be printed out from this sheet. You have two print buttons down here at the bottom, one for printing out this sheet, the job costing sheet, and one printing out the previous sheet, the grouting bid sheet. Okay, we'll close this and we go to the last sheet. Here, all the information that we've entered so far, all the well information has been updated on here. If we had done a pump test, that would be on here also, that information. Now here's your actual grouting bid cost on that first grouting bid sheet. That's your cement and your bentonite. Then you have your job costing costs, your rig depreciation, your casing, your fuel, the actual costs. And then you have those two added together, just below that. Then you have those two added together plus the 50% markups that we put on there. Comes up with a total of $3504.54. So if we were to put down there that that's what we charged, then that shows that our net profit is $1,168.18. Your percent of profit is 50%. And you can put all your information up here at the top. You can even add the date to it. If you click on that, it pulls today's date from the computer. And this has a printout button as well. Okay. So that concludes my presentation of the job costing software. Thank you.